Great question, thanks. I think the first one's got to be around data management, because information security is intrinsically about the data, understanding what information exists where and managing it. Looking at that data is really important. Number one. I think the other thing is looking at how you apply security within the information base across the IT organization. Looking at security operations, I think when you start managing security assets and IT assets within an organization, and you look at how security is applied to it, very often from an operational perspective, security becomes an afterthought and a break fix. That break fix becomes a very tactical construct of security, and is not always the best approach, because it does leave vulnerabilities and exposure in those areas where it hasn't been addressed. Rather look at it strategically. So the strategic construct of security allows you to be able to drive a more holistic approach, a more consistent approach to how security is applied within the organization. I think the other thing that is really important is that when you apply that security, is to do it against a standards-based framework. So looking at something like ISO 27001 or NIST, or if you're moving into the cloud, look at the Cloud Control Matrix from the Cloud Security Alliance. There's great control frameworks out there that allow you to be able to understand what are all of the key elements that need to be addressed in order to look at security holistically within the organization, to look at it strategically, and then also to, when you look at your assets, your more strategic, your more critical assets, to be able to apply the right rigor and the right level of control within that. I think one of the other really important things is to take a step back and look at what does the estate look like in terms of security. And a great way to do that, and one of the methods that we apply, is looking at a capability maturity assessment around it. Because when you look at capability, it allows you to be able to identify what are those capabilities that you have in place, from a people perspective, from a resource perspective, from technology point of view, and also process control. Those elements in terms of, do I have the right mechanics, the right things in order to be able to drive the right change within the organization, are important. And then looking at it from a maturity perspective, if I've got these things that are my resources, how effective are they in terms of managing security within the organization? And that gives you an ability to be able to start planning change in the right ways, in the right areas, in order to be able to improve security